Okay, so the other thing that I saw, this came through, I think it was start of this week, maybe. It was one of the daily media wraps. And it was this story here that sort of grabs my attention. And so this kind of relates to what we were just talking about, the curtailment. So wind farm hobbled as AMO grapples with grid.
Mm.
Fresh problems have unexpectedly arisen with connecting a large new wind farm in Western Victoria, stoking renewed concerns about the ability of the NEM to absorb the increasing flood of renewable energy into the system. Did you hear about this one?
Yeah, I'm also
Okay.
following these alerts. Yeah.
And so it's the same situation as we were just discussing, right? So this is a prime example of it's curtailment, I suppose. I mean, surely when they do curtail the output, uh, how long does it normally last for before and what do they do during that period in order to get these things back online to a decent operating level?
Well, very much depends on the location you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, that Murray region or West Murray region, like or a lot of renewables went in, and the curtailment lasted at 50%, lasted more than 6 months or
Wow.
more. Because during that period, like the grid, so there is basically about two main solutions to it. Either you upgrade the grid. You can think of it like your a hose, your water hose, and you just want to push more water through, which is not happening because it's restricting because of the diameter. So you can't push more water through. So either you reduce the water flow, that's
Mm-hmm.
curtailment, or you increase, like you get a new hose, like just a wider one. But
Mm.
that will take, when you're looking at the network, that will take years. So another solution to it was then just fixing it through smarter inverter technologies like SMA. Lucky enough, SMA had inverters in all the generators up there and was able to work with 5 solar farms and got that resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, like hopefully a midterm to long-term fix. But really long term, we need to upgrade the network. We need to find like double circuits or additional network. And this is being discussed in Victoria and definitely in New South Wales. So back to what happened to that wind farm, yes, there was just constraint in the network. They couldn't inject or provide more power. So it was capped. And
Mm-hmm.
it's then just a matter of like, is it always the same situation that you have so much power on that network and constrained situation, then you get capped for a long period? Or if it is more seasonal, then you may be lucky that you just curtail for a few days or
Mm-hmm.
weeks and recover. But at the moment, we know a lot of regions, they are constrained and you have curtailment resulting out of it.
And so this would obviously affect the amount of new projects that would be looked at starting moving forward, wouldn't it, with this going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you need to be like, if you're in such a hotspot, then very, very difficult to close.
Mm.
I mean, how can you address the curtailment issue? If you're looking more long term, yes, there will be a solution to it. Like the network is changing very quickly. You can also look at other technologies such as batteries, which is sort of like you just use the or even hydrogen production, which is being discussed. So you just look at excess power. So what is capped, you just use to store somewhere else or produce something which you can then utilize in a period where you have a gap. So you
Mm.
use that and move it to a gap, which helps with your returns. So that's another way how you can approach it. But long term, you need network upgrades. You like in the starting blocks, you should look at different sites. You should really look at sites which are not in that hotspot where everyone else is going. And the logic out of it is it's automatically constrained.